very careful. Mommy's going to stand in the middle. If she's going to be one. Oh, be very careful. Don't trip on here, okay? Look what I got. I'm going to like this. And they're going to use this. She's gonna sit down. Isaac's here somewhere. I saw him. If she needs a kid. They're both here. Jacob, she needs a kid to sit with. Hey, Elspeth, I'm gonna start with a song you know, okay? Just for you. Will you do it with me? This one. Do you want me to start with that one? Should I do it right now? Yeah? I'm gonna do it first. Can I start with it? First. Will you help me? I picked it just for you. I'm gonna do it. You're gonna help me? Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, everyone. If you couldn't tell, I might have picked that song because someone sitting over here really likes it. So if you ever need a singing of Bim Bam, whether it be Shabbat or whether it be Tuesday, I'm sure Eliana, right? She'll be happy to come sing that song for you and so many other songs. It is so great for us to be together. As all of you know, my welcome gift to Baton Rouge was a great case of both strep and COVID at the same time. So it's been an interesting time. I am so happy that I am feeling better. And I'm really happy that Josh and Eliana stayed healthy throughout the whole thing. I did lose my voice, that is correct, which is a really hard thing when your job is to talk to people, right? But I did lose my voice. She hasn't seen much of me in the past few days because I've been hiding away from my family. But it's so great that we're able to be together and celebrate Shabbat. When I was doing that quarantining thing, I was thinking about how much I like being around people and how important community is for all of us. Whether it be coming together in this space to create Shabbat, whether it be coming together somewhere else, it is so important. And while I was eating dinner in a room by myself, while they were eating dinner at the table, it made me think about those moments where we kind of just take for granted the opportunity to be together. Maybe you felt that in the past 2 years. Maybe it had something to do with COVID. Maybe it didn't. But it really made me realize that the words Hine ma tov u'ma naim shevet achim gam yachad, how great it is that we can be together, have such different meaning for me. So let's sing that together. If you need the words, you can find them on page 128. Hine ma tov u'ma naim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma naim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, yalalai, yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Hine ma tov, yalalai, yalalai, lai, 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 lai. Hine ma tov u'ma naim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma naim shevet achim gam yachad. As we enter Shabbat together, I invite you to take a deep breath. Hold with you something from this past week that was really great, that you want to carry with you into this next week. And as you exhale, maybe push aside a worry, something that's been weighing on you, something that's been bothering you, and let it drift away for the next 24 hours of Shabbat. Let us welcome Shabbat by lighting our Shabbat candles. I'm going to invite Julie to come on up and light our candles. And if you'd like to follow along with the blessing, it can be found on page 120. Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Let us read together the reading that starts in the middle of the page on page 124. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love and all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. When we turn to page 132, nearing the bottom you see the Hebrew Or Zarua Lat Sadik Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. Or Zarua Lat Sadik Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Sadik Ul Yishra Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Sadik Ul Yishra Lev Simcha. Ul Yishra Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Lat Sadik Ul Yishra Lev Simcha. Ul Yishra Lev Simcha. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Lai lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. As we get to know each other, I am assuming there'll be some tunes that I know that maybe you don't know, and some tunes that you know that I don't know. And hopefully together we'll create this library of great Jewish music in order to enliven our souls and really reach to our neshama, our soul, as we celebrate together. Also, as we sing new tunes, ones that some of us are familiar with and some are not, we also know that some of us will have different choreography customs. So I will invite you, if you're comfortable, to rise when I say rise. I'll invite you, if you're comfortable, stay seated whenever you would like. And I will invite you to do really what is comfortable for you as we navigate these rituals together. Let us welcome the Sabbath bride to this community with the words of Lacha Dodi, page 138. We'll be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And if you're comfortable when we get to that 9th verse, at that time I'll invite you to rise, face the door, so we can metaphorically greet the Sabbath bride into our community. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmiyanu el hameyuchad Adonai L'Shem Tiferet Velitila. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'makshvatila lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'makshvatila lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri hitoreri kiva ore kumi ori uri uri shir daberi Kevod Adonai alayk nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to rise if you'd like, face the door so we can greet the Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'sohola toch emunei am segula boi chala boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to be seated. Hey, Eliana, I know that Shabbat's a time of joy, but I think you're making some people dizzy. The enthusiasm that she has is the same enthusiasm we're supposed to have, both when we greet the Sabbath bride, but also when we welcome those ministering angels into our midst. Tradition tells us that on Shabbat we gain an extra soul. Some people use it to have an extra serving of dessert in their Sabbath meal. Some people use it to help them relax and push away the worries. Whatever you use that extra neshama, that extra soul for, let us gain it as we welcome the ministering angels with the words of Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Boahem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitem leshalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. We join together on page 144 in Chatzi Kaddish. Yitzkadal v'kadash shemei rabba Be'alma divrach hirotev yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'byomechon Uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael Bagala bagala Uvizman karib Ve'imeru amen Yahei shmei rabba mevorach Le'olam olam me'omaya Yitzbarach Yitzbarach V'yishtabach V'yipar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha barichu Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. As we turn to page 146, if you are comfortable, I invite you to rise. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. I invite you to be seated. Let us read together on page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Together in English on page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. day and night. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. I invite you to please rise if it is your custom for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'leftecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kiddoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Let us read together on page 157 at the top. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, no ra tehilot o seifele, no ra tehilot o seifele, malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'galo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Let us read together on page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. In a moment, we're going to sing together on page 162 the words of Vishamru. Now, Vishamru is added in our Shabbat prayers to remind us of joy, and that Shabbat is supposed to be a time of celebration. So I'd like us to actually pause, and I want to invite anyone who's brave enough, willing enough, to share with us something that's making them celebrate this Shabbat, something amazing that's happened to you recently or something you're looking forward to in the next few days. Anybody have anything they want to celebrate together as a community this evening? It's always hard to go first. Yeah. Oh, a new kitten. Nice. Eliana loves kittens. Wonderful.
And a very special promise for us to chant for this week.
Yeah. He did awesome. Yeah. And he's very embarrassed sitting next to you right now. Anybody else? Yeah.
Last night, my husband was guest speaker at a large banquet for some of the from all over the country. And he made a few notes, but he gave the most beautiful, heart-wrenching, just from the heart speech I think I've ever heard. And I cried too, and I actually was holding up my phone. It took 15 minutes to, for him to finish. But I've got it on tape, and it's really special.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Wonderful. Anybody else?
We're looking forward to a family trip we're going to take next week.
Wonderful. Hopefully somewhere exciting. Wow. Oh, that's so nice. Anybody else celebrating anything? Eliana, do you want to tell people what you did for the first time this week? No. Did you go to camp? Yeah, your first time going to camp in Baton Rouge? Yeah. Anybody else have anything they're celebrating? Well, if anybody has something they're thinking of but might not want to share it here, you can always share it with me afterwards. But let us celebrate Shabbat and continue all of these celebrations as we sing together on page 162. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. As we turn the page to page 164 for our central prayer, our Amidah, I invite you, if you are comfortable, to please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagiten ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zoher Chasdei Elohim Ahod, U'mevi Gidula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo V'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Matein, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mori Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Tzomim Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Wal Yevurot, Umidon Melech, Melech Mehi, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kedoshim l'kol yom haleluya selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. I invite you now to continue silently either the words you find in the prayer book until page 180, or the words you find in your own hearts on this Shabbat evening, and you may be seated whenever you wish. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. As we pray for shalom, as we pray for peace, Many of us in this room possibly are feeling that sense of peace. But we know there are those both amongst us here and in our communities and our families, those close to us and those far away, who are having a little bit of struggle finding that shalom, finding that peace. And possibly it's because they suffer illness of body, illness of spirit, or illness of mind. So we turn our prayers now to those in need of healing. Our Mishaberach prayer of healing can be found in our prayer books on page 371. Tonight, as a congregation, we offer prayers of healing to Joy Lewis, Lucy Silva, Christine Weil, Minna Bat-Yentel, Mordechai Bendina, Rowan Hausman, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Friedel Tamara Bat Liba Bela, Menucha Pasha Bet Charney Umosha, Yosef Benfega, Gretchen Hines, Dorian Reeson, Steve Sinkoff, Linda Weinstein, and Zachary Cavalier. If there are others you are thinking of this Shabbat evening, or if you'd like to correct any of my mispronunciations, I invite you to share those names aloud now.
Judith Umbretno and Heather Moran. Lisa McAllister.
Alan Moore, Joanne Stone.
For all those names we said aloud and those whom we hold in our hearts, we pray for healing. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. When I was young, my older brother had a printout hanging on his wall that I always read aloud. I know that you believe you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant. I would repeat it over and over again. I know that you believe you understand what you think I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant. I would try to say it faster and faster. What started out as a tongue-twisting game for me as a child developed into a thoughtful analysis. What did this quote, which my brother had hanging on his wall, truly mean? What was the situation of the person who said it first? And why did my brother put it on his wall in the first place? Communication has come a long way since its inception in about 3500 BCE, when the Phoenicians developed an alphabet, and the Sumerians and Egyptians developed, those first emoticons, hieroglyphics. If you wanted to send a message to someone, though, you could not send your pigeon until 776 BCE, when a pigeon was sent to announce the winners of the Olympic Games. Messages were not even sent by way of human and horse until 200 BCE in Egypt and China. A true postal service was not invented until about 14 BCE by the Romans. And of course, everything began to slowly change with that invention of the printing press, and then again took off years later with the invention of the World Wide Web in 1994, which made communication begin to travel at light speed. Communication today is nothing like it was at its inception. Today, because of Facebook, Twitter, blogging, Instagram, Google, we're live streaming to YouTube, I think right now, and more, sharing information is easier than ever. Especially in the past few years, we had the privilege of using all of our devices to stay in touch with our friends and family who could not visit because of COVID. But since words are at our fingertips, we often forget the strength they have. Our Torah portion this week reminds us of the importance of how we use our words. Balak, the king of Moab, saw that the Israelites had won their wars, so he tried to mimic their strategies. Since the Israelites were led to victory by a man connected to God, Balak reasoned that he should get the service of a man connected to God, and if he did, then he too could defeat others. He recruited Balaam, a sorcerer and magician, to curse the Israelites. Balak wanted Balaam to use the power of speech to attack the Israelites. He hoped to cause the Israelites to lose battle, as their enemies had lost to them. But God told Balaam not to do the work of Balak, no matter how high the price. Balaam, though, could not resist the enticements offered to him, and he went to help Balak. On the way, God gave Balaam one last chance to refrain from his foolishness. An angel of God appeared in front of Balaam's donkey with a sword to stop her from moving. Balaam hit the donkey 3 times. The donkey refused to move. Then God empowered Balaam's donkey with the power of speech. Yes, an animal spoke in this week's Torah portion. God speaks through the mouth of the donkey to tell Balaam not to curse the Israelites. And in the end, like many of you might know, instead of cursing the Israelites, Balaam opens his mouth. We sing it every time we come together to pray on Saturday mornings. Ma tovu ochalecha, blessings emerge instead of curses. We see from this incident the enormous impact that speech has on our lives. God did not manifest as a pillar of smoke or a burning bush, as in other Torah stories, to get Balaam's attention. God merely used words. Were Balaam to successfully condemn the Jewish people, were he to curse and insult them, those words would have had power. The Jews who heard them would have been dismayed. The Midianites who heard them would have been encouraged. The overall atmosphere would have been affected. If words had such a lasting impact in the time of our Torah, so much the more so are we affected by words in a time where they travel at lightning speeds across the internet in multiple forms. In Judaism, speech is a vehicle for holiness. It can create or destroy, build up or ruin, comfort or challenge. It connects us to God, whatever you believe God to be, and it connects us to each other. The Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidic Judaism, teaches that every person is allocated a set number of words to use for our entire lifetime. Once we reach our quota, we depart from this world. How are we using our allotted words? Do we speak to uplift or to tear down? To abuse or to heal? So many words stay with us for our lifetimes. The first words of our children, Eliana's, was Bamba. You can ask us about it later. The words we say to our significant others. Under the chuppah, after Josh whispered personal vows to me, I responded with one word, ditto. The final goodbye of a parent, a spouse, a friend, and so many words in between, said at special events, unexpected moments, and throughout even those most mundane hours of our lives. I learned firsthand how important even the simplest of words we offer can change one's life. My phone, sitting on the night table next to my bed, began to vibrate. The sound woke me up, and at first I didn't think anything of it. Then, as my phone continued to ring, I realized the call was coming from one of the teens at my synagogue. Thinking it was weird that she was calling at that hour, I answered the phone and groggily said, hello. On the other end of that phone call was an extremely depressed teenager who wanted to end her pain. That hello led to a conversation. And because of that conversation, just a string of simple words, a young lady's life continued. A young lady who is now a nursing student who hopes to use her words to instill courage and determination while standing at the bedside of her future patients. We learn to speak at a very young age, and sometimes never learn the power of our words. We read in Genesis that the world was created through speech. We know from life that speech has the power to nurture, damage, or destroy our worlds of self-esteem, self-confidence, and hope. As it says in Proverbs, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Yehiyu liratzon imrei fi, v'hagyon libi lifanecha. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to my God, my friends, my family, my community, and myself. Shabbat shalom. We're going to return to our prayer books now as we enter our concluding prayers. I'm going to put my mask on because I'm going to invite up if anybody would like to. I know, Isaac, you helped me last time. Come and open our ark. Just being super cautious because of what happened. So with my mask, so if anybody wants to come, I know some of the kids left, mine included, but come on up. You want to come on up? I'm going to invite you to turn to page 5. Don't open it yet. Page 586. As together we rise for Ali. Okay. That side first, right? This side first, right? Cool.
I remember, you don't know this.
You taught me last time. And there's a button. You need my help? You think you got it? Yep. Can I come in and help you? Oh, look at those muscles. Keep going. Open it up. We join together in Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'ol, la'tekedu la'liotzer reishim, shelo asanu kigoyeh haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot adama, shelo samchalchinu kahem, v'gol raleinu kechol hamona, va'anachnu korim, Lift up. Yep. And now lift. Perfect. Now push down. Perfect. I think you got it.
Wait, I think sometimes, I think it might go.
Yep, you're good. Next side. Can you close your side?
With your hands.
You may be seated. Don't go anywhere. Are you allowed to have a treat? Grown-ups that these children belong to.
Okay.
Different treats this week.
Okay. What are those gonna do?
Take one. What, do you want one? Blast from the past treat.
Whoa.
Candy necklace.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. If I have any say in the arc design when we build our new sanctuary, easy. Oh. I took my mask off already. I'm going to toss it to you because I took my mask off already. You think you can catch, Toby? Nice. Oh. I don't know how I feel about throwing it all the way back there, Jacob, but how about we pass it back there? Since we're in the sanctuary, how about can I... I'll be nice now, but in the future, I'm going to make you come up and do something for your candy. As our prayers draw to a close on this Shabbat evening, we turn our thoughts to our loved ones who are no more. The people in our lives who shaped us into the people we are today and whose legacies we carry on. As a congregation, we are in the first 7 days Shiva for John Wormser and Robert Eisenbach. We are in the first year of mourning for Gimme Brownleader, Michael Carpenter, Wallace Dunham, Sheila Parker, Frances Edelman, Jean London Eisenbach, Fred Cantor, Miriam Mimi Grossman, Elizabeth Sachs, Saxey. I was like, I saw Victor. Saxey, I'm gonna get it. Marvin Bender, Donald Ostern, Elaine Garver, Robert Feldman, Eileen Burton, Virginia Gordon, Bruce Dunham, Jim Bullman, R.B. Dickerson, Moni Meyer, Joanne Strickler. And we think of those who died at this season in years past, whose yortzites, the anniversary of death, falls on this Shabbat. Charles Bender, Louis Bertman, Catherine Bychuk, Mark Bloomberg, Charles Cohen, Janet Dreyfus, Jean Fisher, Herbert Fisher, Jack Flicker, Andre Grumbach, Ann Hinson, Adler Hirsch, Carl Ernest Hollander, Flora Weil Katz, Barbara Anofsky Latham, Lee Hilliard Meltzer, Flossie Strauss Michelson, David Ronan, Miriam Radlauer, and Jeanette C. Rosen. If there are others you are thinking of this Shabbat evening, or if you'd like to correct any of my mispronunciation, I invite you to share those names aloud now.
Richard's Jones.
Charlotte Cobb, Myrtle Lee.
We join together in the words of Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 598, and I invite you, if you wish, to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirotev yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dekol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yahei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Zikro nam livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. As together we say, Amen. Please be seated. Harold, come on up. As our board representative, Harold's going to share some brief announcements with us. Oh, I'm impressed you brought your own.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the board, it's my pleasure to welcome everyone who is here with us tonight, and also everyone who is here with us on YouTube. For the announcements today, everyone should remember that they have a copy of them in their email, and so you can check them throughout the week. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, there will be Torah study. And you can participate on Zoom as well. 10 o'clock, there will be a Saturday minyan, and Saturday morning services will begin at 10:30 a.m., and you can also see that on YouTube. On Sunday, the book club will be meeting. It will be meeting in Zoom only. The title of the book is Exile, Portraits of the Jewish Diaspora by Annika Hernroth Rothstein. And you're welcome to join whether you've read the book or not. And it'll be an interesting discussion. On Thursday, July 21st, we'll be having our farewell to the B'nai Israel Sanctuary. It will be at 6 p.m. Of course, it will be at Kleinert. And there will be a wine and cheese celebration afterwards. We are preparing for the high holidays, and we're hoping to have as much participation as possible. We would like to ask everyone to respond to the survey when they get it, so that we can understand where and if you would like to participate. We also would like to remind everyone that we have room for people who would like to volunteer to host onegs on Friday evening or for Saturday morning Kiddushas. I'll let the office know. And that is what I have. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much. Tonight we are going to conclude services by singing Ein Kelohenu, which you can find on page 626. And then as soon as we sing our closing song, Don't Go Anywhere, we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi in this space, although we're not having any meal or oneg together, just to start you on your way wherever you are going next. So join in Ein Kelohenu, page 626. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Elohenu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kemalkenu, Mi Kamoshienu, No Del Elohenu, No Del Adonenu, No Del Malkenu, No Del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. If you would like to follow along the words of Kiddush, you can find them in your prayer book on page 123. If it is your custom to rise during Kiddush, I invite you to do so. I think I might have a cup down here. Page one, if you need the words, page 123, let us join together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu Mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hin. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. Oh. Well, now there's wine all over me. I just want to drink from this beautiful Kiddush cup.
You can't do that. Oh, I saw it last week.
Did you drink and let it spill all over you? Well, Rachel is smarter than I am. I just spilled wine all over myself because I didn't notice the... Well, that's aside. Can you open the challah for us? I don't have to put a mask on. I just got haze. Normally, rabbis think the Yortzeit list being multiple pages is how you get haze. Tonight, it was whoever put the wine glass out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let us join together in Motzi, and then if you're comfortable, please come take a slice of challah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'tei avon, please come come take some challah Shabbat Shalom. I'm covered in wine.
Servicing with a smile.
Yes, I am now covered in wine also. Can't take this rabbi anywhere.
Okay.
Hopefully it's not on my talis. I don't care about my dress, I care about my talis. We need to work on her. Or we can get a bit, like, she just won't come. And if you want to, we can say we could get a babysitter.
I would think this cup,
I have no idea.
that's a Kiddush cup.
I don't know.
That's a Elisha cup. I mean, it should be.
It should be, yeah.
Because would you put Richard Stewart on not yours, on this one, the shiver list? We have a shiver list to say shiver for next year.
Yeah.
This is my first cousin.
Richard Stone, just to make sure, yeah.
He turned from Lutheran to Orthodox, and he was president of the major Jewish organizations in the country. 3 years, he was well known all over the world. It was just unbelievable what he's done.
And when
About 3 weeks ago. And when his older brother died, he sat shiver for a full year. It's really special to us. Thank you very much.
of course.
Shabbat shalom.
Don't mind me covered in wine. Shabbat Shalom.
But no donut today either. You lost. No. She lost the donut.
Step one, spill wine all over yourself. Step two, let your daughter get your kid necklace.
You got the trick. I always get set up in your red light trick.
Yeah. No, only goes
Finish those.
I'm gonna go get the trash can.
Yeah.
But you have led services before. Have you been hazed with that cup? I don't know where it came from. I didn't probably think it was minor. I've never seen her either. I did not set this stuff up, so. I think the office staff just didn't show up. I was drinking and I was like, I don't taste anything. And then I was like, but I feel something. I was like, can I just this? You better know it. Very, very good. You love that cup. They should give that cup like that. I didn't set this up, so. Must have something in it, yeah. I'll just tell Melissa what she is.
I'll open it up for you in a second. No, your mom sent them via Amazon.